Welcome to Messenger of the Divine. This is the I Am. We are here. We are the Council of Light, also known as the spiritual hierarchy, represented by Jesus Sananda. As noted in earlier videos from Jesus, who once lived as Jesus of Nazareth on this earth, whose eternal name is Sananda, the firstborn, the first angel, out of the universal consciousness that created by thought all that is in the physical world. Hello, dearest ones. Thank you for being here today with us. First, I would like to mention the brave nation of Ukraine. I speak on behalf of all ascended masters. We are in agreement, representing the universal I am that I am, who many call God, who has spoken here before. Know this: only one person is responsible for this war upon a free nation. That one person is in the Kremlin in Russia. That one person, out of confusion of the mind and a poisoned heart, encroached on another's personal property. Under no circumstances is this ever acceptable by any person for any reason. It is an invasion of a person's sensibility and right as a human being, and the right to be free as a people, which is a born right by every human being and every creature. We do not innately hold the soldiers themselves responsible, though they each will have their own healing and learning and responsibilities to address based on their personal consciousness and choices in the actions of this war. Those who were liberally and are liberally cruel will have a heavier price to pay, for their souls are scarred with a great darkness. The greatest penalty would be upon the single person who took it upon himself to invade another's personal land where the peoples are a free nation. This will be many lifetimes in the third dimension of seeing and experiencing the other side of such a choice, that he may come to feel and experience and understand the brunt of his actions upon others who are a free nation. This is a soul decision. It is not enforced by myself or any of the teachers or by God. Merely let us say this, that if you harm another, you yourself in your soul will learn by repetition of the suffering what you have done, until you come to your understanding in the long aftermath of many lives. As to Ukraine, these incredibly brave people, you will very soon be victorious against the intruders. And we express our deepest sorrow for all that you have lost, not only your land, your homes, your businesses, your loved ones, your families, and possibly even your own life. That you will always be thought of with endearment and respect for what you have endured, not of your own making, and not of your own choice. But know this, it is coming soon that Ukraine as a nation will once again restore all of your land, recapture all of your land, all of the original intrusions upon your property and upon your boundaries and your borders. And the world is with you, and the world will help you. For no land wants this. No person wants this. And for any who does this upon you, there will be retributions in this life, as well as many after. For lifetimes are for the purpose of learning. The reason for lifetimes is the endless repetition of suffering what you have caused upon another, that you may come to an understanding yourself of your wrongdoing. No one has the right to take another's land, or to hurt another, or to kill or murder another, or to torture another. The inborn right of every human being and every creature is the right to live freely. Ukraine, you are honored among the heavens and among all the angels, because we see your heroism in the face of despair. And we speak to you individually and personally. This will end, and the world is with you. This leads us, to the universal consciousness. In case you have not yet experienced this knowledge or understanding, which is most people on the planet, the universal consciousness resides in every human being, every person, of every race, every color, every faith, every religion, every gender, and there is no judgment. It is not our right to judge another person for their born nature or their life choices, which is their journey into personal awareness of the greater good. For we are all in a body of any kind, both in the physical, and once we evolve beyond it, we continue to learn, have a body of a sort, of a different dimensional vibration. And we all exist with the right to be who we are. You exist with the innate right to be who you are, who you were born to be. Your personality, your inherent understanding of what life is, so that you may expand your understanding into the greater good for all. For that is the purpose of life, is to learn to accept others as they are, respect others as they are today, and to know that the journey every person takes, including yourself, is a personal journey of increasing understanding, awareness, and learning to forgive and respect every other life form. Respect is the keynote. Here's why. As long as any person hates another or fears another because they look different, they have different beliefs, they have different experiences, they may have a different gender, or you may not understand what they are going through as a physical human being. Respect of other humans and animals of every species is the only way to have peace of mind and a peaceful heart and a free conscience. Respect the other, no matter who they are, nor even what they have done to you. Respect that person is on a journey, and it is not our right to judge anyone else or any other creature for who it is, for who she is, for who he is. It is not our place, but only to respect that journey of that soul. This does bring up another topic which is addressed in my books What about those who harm and cause grievous harm, who murder and rape and torture? Respecting the human being, for example, for having a different race, a different color, a different faith, a different religion, a different gender than is understood, does not mean accepting another person's violence against anyone. Any form of violence against another person, even a creature, it is correct to take such a person out of harm's way from society, because any person who is a threat or a danger to others, for whatever reason, which is now not our place to discuss at this time, it is correct that such a person who is violent and endangers another must be held to account. Here's the secret. From your own consciousness, your own conscience, for your own peace of mind, for your own peaceful heart, see that justice be done, but without carrying in yourself hatred or even fear, without carrying in yourself hatred, vengeance, but only that the scales be balanced, that anyone who causes threat or harm or violence toward another must indeed be held accountable for those actions. This, of course, is a full discussion. That's all we'll say on this at the matter. The thing that matters most is know this. In your own heart, carry not hatred, whatever a person has done, even to you. Find a way in yourself to see the soul of that person, the human being behind the atrocity or the hardship, and pray for the soul. It's a difficult topic, but I hope this helps you to understand. Bottom line is every person is infused with the universal consciousness, whether or not yet aware of that. And when you are aware, free your own heart and mind from the burden of being stuck in that past experience or even present experience. Find a way in yourself to let go of how it affects you so that you are able to move on with your life and find within yourself the ability to help others who are suffering. Because when you are able to do that, your own suffering eases until eventually it can even dissipate to a great degree that you no longer carry that hatred or burden within your own being and are more easily able to let it go. This frees you while the other is intended to face justice. And justice will come in this life or another. I would like to mention, as there is a great deal of judgment going around in the world, a great deal of fear, a great deal of hatred and violence and confusion and darkness. Briefly, know this. Humanity is an ancient species, born at the beginning of time. I will briefly mention that humans existed first on the very first physical world in the Pleiades, born out of the great mind or thought of consciousness that then created physical life. And through that being, or not an entity, through that consciousness, first came the angels, many clans of angels, and of the original angels. There were some who created, then went on to create the physical worlds. Some of the angels, not all, because they are a multitude infinite. A multitude infinite. But some of the angels were curious and chose to go into the physical world, which was a lesser vibrational frequency, more intense, appearing more solid, as you know, to experience what is this like, this physical reality. That was when it all started, eons and eons and eons and eons and eons ago. What you need to know now, that was the first transformation, the first shift in human consciousness, the first beginning. And all of this time later, eons and eons and eons and eons ago, all of this time later, now, in human history, in all worlds, on this earth, now is the second only ever transformation, evolution of the human species. Enhanced consciousness, enhanced physical bodies and brains. Not only a spiritual transformation, but also physical and emotional. So what you are seeing is, for generations, the handful of prophets and mystics have foretold a new people, a new human being, a new earth, a new world. It is now beginning. It is not overnight. It doesn't happen spontaneously to everyone, because every person and every soul is unique and different. And you each have your own pace, your own rhythm, And even though you all have lived many, many lives before, this life you chose for a very particular reason, to hone your understanding of what life is about, to give, to serve, to help. Or as one who already understands that and has volunteered to come back as a teacher, a guide, a healer, even though you have your own personality to continue to hone in this physical environment, which has its own challenges and uniqueness because of the physical personality. You can do and have arise into your higher knowing, your higher self, your higher consciousness. And in those moments, which may be months or years or a lifetime, so be that better self you originally were as a soul when you were first an angel. You are here for whoever you are. You are here to help, to teach, to give, to heal. That is why you are here, for yourself, for others, in whatever way your personality is talented and gifted. This is what you do with this life. It's like early on, you may know this as a child. You could be 3 or 4 years old and have this knowing and this memory and spend the entire lifetime with this intention and serving this purpose for the whole of humanity, for the whole of the planet, to help the animals. This could be your knowing at a very early age, or you may come to it later in life. You may not realize it until your teens or your 20s or when you are older. But once you know this, your purpose for this world and for this life is altered forever. And you cannot undo it, and you cannot go backward. You can't let yourself go backward, because once you awaken to, oh my God, this is who I really am, and this is why I'm here. Once you feel that infusion of the higher being you are, always have been, always will be, and begin to allow that to become the person you are in this world to the greatest degree possible in the physical body, which is 99%. Those are the ones you have seen who are like saintly. You never want to go back. You never want to go back because you feel like the real you for the very first time in your life. And your heart is so full with a love of life and the gratitude for life in whatever form you have it or experience it, that all you want to do is be that person and do whatever you can to ease others' suffering and reduce others' pain and difficulties and challenges. That is why you are here. Using the knowledge, insight, and awareness, not only that you were born with, but that has driven you every single day of your life. That is your motivation, and that is your purpose. And let me say this, we the multitude of ascended masters, teachers, saints, spiritual guides, and teachers, a multitude for this single earth and multitudes for every other earth in all the many worlds of all the universes. We have been where you are. We know what you are going through. We know what life is like. We know how challenging and difficult it can be, which is why in one of my own many lives, I chose the physical life on this earth, whom you know as Jesus. But we all have done this. You have done this. This is not new to you. Feel the goodness that is in you and through you. Feel the wonder of being, and you will know why you exist. And here is what I see and all of us see, and that I speak of in my many books. 90% of the global population right now, in this hour, in this year, on this planet, 90% are good people. You have open hearts. You have goodwill toward all. You wish no one hardship. You do not intend ill will toward any other. You are aware of the need and desire to be good and helpful to others. It matters not who you are, rich or poor, black or white, brown or yellow, or green. Matters not who you are, where you live, what your race is, what your beliefs are, what religion you may or may not have, what gender you are, or think you are, or feel you are, believe you are, through your physical genetics. Because you are a soul. Be the soul you are. Just be the soul you are, the person you know within that you are. Be that person who is a good person and wishes no harm to any other. 90% of the global population, this is who you are. You do not set about to harm anyone else. You just want to live a good life and to be useful and helpful in the world. That is divinity, dear one. That is divinity in action. It doesn't matter if you have a faith or a religion or not. Be your soul. Be the higher being you know you are born to be. Live to serve. That is all that matters. Nothing else matters. We, the ascended masters, a religion was named after us. We did not create it or name it. We came to live in whatever culture needed us in that moment, to bring messages of love, patience, forgiveness. We all sought this to help you find an easier way to be in life, to be in the world, and to recognize your own innate better nature. So have confidence in yourself and in the world around you. And of the few who are struggling, are impatient, and if you're impatient, that's okay. Forgive yourself and let go and move on. The personality in the physical dimension, every single day, remind yourself, here I am, through meditation or any meditative state that brings you into the better nature that you are. This is why people love nature, love being in the mountains, where you can hear only yourself think and not be inundated by the noises and impulses of the world. Dear one, forgive yourself, and every single day remind yourself, here I am, and breathe in that divine nature that you are, which is kind, gentle, patient. You have many examples of this person: Mother Teresa, Martin Luther King, living persons who are examples for you in the world of how to be your very best nature. Let these be your example. Let these be your mentors for how to be in this physical life, in this physical dimension. Because you are here to help and to raise the vibration of the whole. Now let us get to this. Yes, there is darkness in the world. It is hatred and fear. It is a loss of hope and a lack of love of oneself and a lack of respect for other. That's all it is. So the dimensions of darkness are the 10%, are pushing back because they do not understand in their own hearts and beings what is love. Let me say this, love is felt, it's a knowing, it's a feeling, it's a beingness. It is not an attitude, it is not an intellectual decision or choice. Intellectualism is very interesting, but it is not love. It is not patience. It is not forgiveness. It is not seeking a better way. It is a curiosity, but it is not love. When you love unabashedly other, when you love other life forms, all of life, with respect, that is what heals you, restores you, helps you to feel within you how wondrous you are, how wondrous life is, how wondrous the possibilities of life can be. When it comes to the darkness, do whatever you must to stand up against it. Your example in today's modern age, Ukraine. Ukraine is your living example of a world of peoples that desperately seeks to get back its freedom to be. Freedom to be who and what you feel you are. That doesn't mean you don't have laws. That doesn't mean you don't have guidelines or boundaries to protect the good of the whole, the greater good of all. Because it really is. But here's the thing. Think of humanity as a body. And each one of you, you are a cell in the body of humanity. It's like an ocean. One drop in the ocean. The ocean is the body of humanity. And each single drop of water in that ocean is a cell in the body of humanity. You are that body together as a whole. The greater good is the body of humanity. And each one of you contributes to that body in a healthy way or in a violent way, which is like cancer. So it is correct to heal the cancer, the violent cell who strikes out against others with hatred, with vileness. It is correct to heal the whole body. To help you understand what does this mean for the earth, there are many ways to look at this. First of all, yes, it is imperative to address the physical earth because you need it to survive, or you don't survive as a people on this planet. And you can't just go off and leave and go to another planet. That's not going to solve your problems. It's the attitude by which you live as a people. Are you contributing to the health and well-being of this world, or are you not? Do you live to do good in this world, or are you not? That's the bottom line, and that's what it comes down to. The suffering, the impossibilities, the challenges, the difficulties, the pain, the murders, the atrocities, that is the third dimension vibration. Those who contribute, who cause that, those who put that upon others, that is a third dimension mentality and attitude of life. It's a denser, lower vibration. Because in the higher vibrations, frequencies, that is not the case. Bottom line, look at it this way. Earth, this world, this earth, it's true of all worlds, all earths, and other planets and galaxies and universes. All exist simultaneously in multiple frequencies, multiple dimensions. Same place, same world, different frequencies, different dimensions. This is a beautiful world, a beautiful earth. Treasure it. Because if you don't, you lose it. And it is not too late, but the time is imperative now to respect this physical earth. Love it and cherish it with respect for the life it gives you and respect for its own life and vibration. The oceans, the animals, the skies, the plants, all that are life and give life. Honor and treasure and cherish this world. It is not too late to heal it, but it is imperative to do so now. Multiple dimensions. So the third dimension is the lower vibration of suffering, anguish, pain, atrocities, cruelty, murder. Cruelty. The fourth dimension is the next physical vibration. It's a physical earth, physical being. It's your physical being. When you're in your fourth dimension physical body, you heal faster. Physical, mental, emotional, spiritual is more in alignment, is more pure and free of the challenges of the body. You do not have to suffer those challenges. You can rise in your attitude and in your physical being into your fourth dimension body, which heals faster, has a greater longevity, has an increased lifespan, and also has an attitude of more forgiveness, more understanding, and a greater capacity intellectually, spiritually, intuitively, and psychically. When you're in your fourth dimension body, you have the abilities of an increased intuition and comprehension of the greater spectrums of life. And you see all of it with a greater capacity of understanding what it is and what it means, and how all the parts work together. The fifth dimension, vibration, is a frequency of healing, being a healer, being a spiritual teacher without the encumbrances of the physical attitudes, less of the burden, more of the being who is forgiving, who is the person who teaches, who shares, who shows another way, without ego, without greed, without taking advantage of another, but merely to give and to share the knowledge of the higher dimensions so that you are able to be the better person you always were and can be in this world. That's the goal in this time, in this hour, because the new era is 26,500 years long, thereabouts. It's a very long time for humanity to evolve your consciousness, your capacity for love, and how you address the balance and the imbalance. It's a very long time, and it has only just begun. This new era is an era of compassion as it evolves over that era time. You cross the threshold as a human body, as a human species, September 22, 2011. It's only been, what? Let's see, that's 11, 12, 13 years out of 26,500. It doesn't happen overnight. Individually, it can and does and has. But as the whole of the human body, the whole of the human species, it's one at a time. It's one person at a time. It's you. Will you be that better person now that you were born to be? To raise the level of vibration for the whole human race. One at a time, in your life, in your world, in your community, what can you do? Why are you here? You are here to do whatever you can to be that better person today. And to follow your intuition, your heart, your instincts, your talents for the greater good of all. That's all it takes. And your life changes. And one day at a time, the world is a better place to be for the greater good. That's all I have today. This is much longer and more elaborate than the discussion yesterday. When the audio didn't work, Carol had forgotten how to put the audio where she needed it. Okay. I am Jesus Sananda. I call myself Sananda because that was my name from the time I first came to be, out of the I am consciousness, which all of us did. We all did. That's where we all began. We all began as angels. Anyway, my name is Sananda. You know me as Jesus. So I am fine with going by Jesus-Sananda for you to understand me and relate to me. We all had an origin story. You did as well. And now I bid you, for you to know this, the Council of Light are all of those who once had a life for this world, this earth. All of us ascended from this earth life. And so we all represent the Council of Light for this world, this earth. You know us as ascended masters the spiritual hierarchy, but we all have been in this world in the time of this earth, which is many millennia. I mean, it goes back further than you can even imagine. And yes, I have stories about coming from the other worlds and all of that, and I have some stories in many of my books. In particular, I discuss it quite a bit in my book, The Bringers of Hope. But it's all, don't be afraid. Live in hope. Live in love. That is where your freedom lies. And if you must fight the imperialist, then do what you must to maintain your own freedom for your own people and your own nation. Your example is Ukraine. And how to be? Your example is Zelensky. Your example is Martin Luther King. Your example is Mother Teresa. There are many examples. If you need a mentor, let these people show you a way to be in this world with respect for your people and for the way that life is supposed to be. Respect yourself and respect other. I love you. We are with you. We are always round about you. You are never alone. We are only a breath away, for the dimensions are that close to you. You are not separate. It only seems so. We love you. I love you. And I am always with you, as are all the angels and ascended masters who agreed to be with you throughout this lifetime, and more as you require and take on greater responsibility to be a healer in this world. And this is Carol Messenger at the end, adding a note. Sorry for the long delay in channeling and the rambling today. The messages are all the same, but a great deal more content than yesterday, when it was perfect and flawless. And I'm sorry. It's been 5 months since I channeled because the body is having some issues that have to do with age. And I am working on fixing that now and working beyond it. But meanwhile, I had changed the audio on the Android. The only robot I care for is my Android. And I had changed it and had not tested the audio. So I am very sorry. The messages were flawless yesterday, but the truth is still the same today, even though I feel I rambled more because I wanted to make sure that I allowed through all of the ideas and thoughts that were on the agenda. First time back in 5 months, but I will be back. I will allow the teachers, the angels, and the I Am to speak. And I am better at 6 a.m. than at 8 a.m. when the world is busier and I feel it on my body. But I wanted to be here for you. And I am so glad that despite the physical issues, yes, that I am dealing with at 77, it's like, well, I am finding a way to get past that into the higher being and the higher consciousness, and thank goodness still able to access it. So if I wandered and rambled a bit too much, that's why. But the ideas and the messages are still there and are addressed in all of the books. And I can tell you this, as I began to receive in direct personal voice from Jesus in 2019, which is The Bringers of Hope, expanded second edition. And then he spoke again in his own personal voice in Your Awakening Attitude of Service. And again, he spoke in his own personal voice in The Bringers of Light. And that is the third book in the series for the New Humanity. Although I must now add that it's actually the fourth book in the New Humanity series, because included in that New Humanity series is the Soul Path, because it addresses all of these topics about the transformation and shift that humanity is now going through right now. It also addresses the past and the origins of humanity. It also addresses the angels, as they all do. But what I can tell you now is January 13, 2019, that's when I received and heard for the first time that I was able to accept it and hear it and feel the pure presence of Jesus around me. It's like, I have never felt an energy like that before ever in my life. Pure love, absolutely the pure love that's like I felt I was enveloped in his pure presence and pure love. It was like I never felt anything like that before. And that's why I am on my own now, because it's like pure, absolute serenity and joy and unbridled affection. Anyway, that's when he told me that he is my master teacher, always has been. And I didn't know that. I've always been New Age and metaphysical, and I didn't realize or allow myself to accept that I am writing from the consciousness of Jesus, that he is writing the books through my higher self, my higher consciousness. And I only then, in 2019, allowed his personal presence and voice to write in his direct voice and consciousness in words. It's really powerful for me. I feel embraced by a being that I never experienced before that in that way. He told me, which is in the appendices of all the new books, and when I update any of my books, which I will be doing, that came in their own, I thought I was writing through the higher consciousness, through my higher self. I was, but he said he wrote all the books. He's the author of all the teachings and all the materials in those books. So just for you to know, as I'm increasing my capacity to allow myself to be totally present and allow this to be what is, by the grace of God, here it is and here I am. For as long as I am in this world, with gratitude, and may it also touch you as it has touched me, and touches me and changes me every day. God bless us all. And so you are, and so I am, and so we are.